Good morning. Welcome to day 4 of Sun and Moon. This morning we are going to practice Yin Yoga to slowly and gently wake up the body from the inside out. And we're going to get started in a pose called butterfly fish. So as it sounds, it's like a combination of fish pose and reclined butterfly. If you have your props, bring them to your mat. You would be benefited to have 2 blocks, a bolster, and a blanket. But if you do not have these things, just go ahead and grab some pillows and some blankets and you can work with what you have. So I'm going to begin by taking my bolster and bringing it the width of the mat. This is going to go underneath my rib cage in the back of my ribs. And so if you only have blocks, you could do this with 1 block underneath your ribs, going, again, widthwise rather than long ways along your mat. But then if you do have a bolster or a pillow, bringing it long ways across your mat to give a little lift to the back, and then also 1 block or another pillow that will go underneath the head. So start to turn yourself around and recline over the prop. So as you see here, I'm laying down where my shoulders are floating just above the pillow or the bolster. I'm going to open my arms out into a T shape and let my head rest onto this block, which again can be a pillow or a blanket for you. Walk the soles of your feet together, let the knees go apart, and then start to soften into this first pose. Notice your breath as you close your eyes and soften the muscles. Soften any tension in the muscles of your face. Allow your thighs and your legs to be heavy. And relax across the front of your chest and your collarbones. Unwind any tension that you might have woken up with. And start to consider how you want to feel today. How do you want to show up for yourself and for others? Take another breath in through your nose here. Let it out with a gentle sigh. And then bring your hands underneath your thighs and help your legs come back together like you're closing a book. Soles of your feet come to the mat. Open your arms back out into that T shape. Widen your feet to the width of your mat. Reclined deer pose. Let both knees drop over to the left. Just let them go as far as is comfortable for you. If you have another pillow or a block and you want to place it underneath that left knee to bring the earth a little bit closer to you, that's a really good option, especially if there's any pain in your hip or your knee. And then at this point, you might like to lower the level of the block underneath your head if you're using a block there. And then we'll be here for a little bit of time. If you landed on an intention for your practice or your day in that first pose, maybe you repeat it to yourself. But if you didn't, that's okay. You still have time to feel into what it is that's going to support you today. Whatever intention can bring you back to a place of balance whenever the day maybe feels a little bit unbalanced. Notice if there's anywhere else in your body that could soften right now. Take another breath in and out. And from here, if you have something underneath your right knee, I want you to try to move it out of the way. And then you're going to roll all the way over onto your left side. Keep the knees just as they are. You might need to adjust the placement of the pillow, the bolster, or the block underneath your left side body. Your right knee is pointing down towards the bottom of your mat, and your left knee is still bending forward. And then you have a block or a pillow underneath the left side of your head. And reach your right arm up overhead and let the fingertips rest down onto the floor ahead of your mat for this side bend, which is called mermaid pose. Breathe into your right side body. Soften wherever you can soften. And then come back to your intention, or to simply just listening for what your intention will be, listening for what you need in your spirit today. And take another breath in here and out. You're going to bring your right hand in front of you on the floor or onto the prop, and you're going to press down to rise away from your props. From here, your left knee is still bent forward, your right knee is still bent back, and you're going to either cross the right shin in front of the left shin, or see if you can stack your right shin on top of your left shin for square pose. Both options are doing the same thing. They're opening through the outsides of your hips and working the energetic line of the gallbladder and liver meridian. I'm just going to move my props out of the way here and be a little bit more centered on my mat. And then you can use pillows or blocks in front of you, and we're going to fold straight forward from here. Bring anything underneath your upper body to bring the earth closer to you. Release the weight of your head. And send your breath deep into your hips. Try to soften a little bit more with every exhale. Let gravity do most of the work for you. Deepen your breath. Use another inhale to lift your head. Use your strong arms to exhale and press down to rise back up to upright. And extend your legs out wide a little bit, just a little bit wide of a V shape. You can windshield wiper the toes, alternate the bends of the knees. And we're going to take that same pose on the other side and then move into our postures that we did on our back on the other side of our mat. So you can start by crossing your left shin in front of your right for a cross-legged seat, or see if you can stack your left shin on top of your right. Again, both options are great. There's nothing right or wrong with either of them. It's just about what feels better in your body. And then you're going to bring the blocks in front of you or bring pillows in front of you, lean forward onto those props and melt into a forward fold. Release the weight of your head. Breathe in a way that feels good to you. And use your next inhale to lift your head. Exhale, press into your hands, raise up to upright. And then move your blocks out of the way, or your pillows. Lean over onto your right hip, and then swing the left leg around, internally rotate the left thigh, and create this zigzag shape with your legs. So the left knee is bent at about a 90-degree angle. You can bring it closer towards your right heel if that feels better to you. But the knee is more or less pointing towards the bottom of your mat. And I'm going to scoot myself a little bit closer to the bottom of my mat just so I have room here. grab your pillow or your bolster and bring it alongside your right thigh. Bring a block where your head's going to go, and we're recreating that mermaid pose where we thread the right arm alongside the bolster, let the head rest down on a block, and then bring the left hand up overhead, soften here, close your eyes and breathe into your left side body. What is your intention for your day? How can you bring more presence, more mindful awareness into each moment and show up as your most authentic self today? Reminding yourself of your intention. From here, take a breath in through your nose. Exhale to soften one more time. And then we're moving back into a reclined deer. So really your legs can stay just as they are. You're just going to open your chest towards the ceiling. Open your left arm out to the left. You may need to scoot yourself more so to the center of whatever prop you're laying on. But basically, your knees point over towards the right, your arms open out into a T shape, and your chest is facing the ceiling. And you breathe in the supported, reclined deer. This is our last pose before Shavasana. Enjoy your time. Try to soften as much as you can while we're here. Take one more breath in your reclined deer. And exhale. And from here, we're going to just move the props out of the way. So you're going to roll back to your right side. Use your left hand in front of you to come up off of the props and move them out of the way. Go ahead and lay back down onto your back, constructive rest. And notice how it feels to have your spine and your legs in a neutral position. And I want you to take rest either right here in constructive rest or to extend your legs out long. Let your hands rest wherever is comfortable for you. And we'll be here for just a couple more minutes to allow the nutrients of your practice to sink in. So when you get up, you're starting with a clean slate, fresh mind, fresh body. Remaining just as you are, bring your awareness back to your breath. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Wake your body back up with small little movements. Over time, draw your knees into your body. Give yourself a really big hug and rock a little side to side. Bring a smile to your lips. Let this rocking motion land you onto one side. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Feel the support beneath you. And gently press into that support to help yourself rise all the way back up and meet me in a comfortable seat. Sit up tall when you arrive. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Notice the effect of your practice on you today. Call your intention in. And bring your palms together in front of your heart space. And we'll close our practice together today by saying Namaste.